So we got photos of it and we were pouring over these photos, just being like, this is so
Mhm.
good. We have absolutely crushed this. This is so good. So when the property closed, we were like, oh, we should probably go to Japan and get to the house. Let's definitely do that. So Christmas in Japan, we'd sorted all that out. Easy. So
Mhm.
jump on the Shinkansen. Our daughter absolutely loves it. Get to
Yeah.
Kurosawa, get a car. It's like, this is awesome. And then we start driving through Kurosawa. We're like, oh, this is the best place ever. And then I start
Okay,
driving.
okay.
So I got to drive up a mountain about 25 minutes to get to the house. As I'm driving, it starts getting snowier and snowier. Now, I have never seen snow, and I have certainly never driven
First snow, okay.
snow. So as it's going, as I'm driving up the hill, I'm going over snow and stuff. I'm starting to white knuckle the steering wheel a little bit, and it's all right. This is new and possibly dangerous. And I have my entire family in the car, so I'm yeah. Jem at this point pretty pregnant too, so I've got a pregnant wife and I've got my
Okay.
5-year-old daughter in the back. The old heart rate's driving up a little
Mhm.
bit, but at the same time, you in the back of your mind, you're sort of like,
Did I make a mistake?
yeah.
Welcome back to the Buying a House in Japan podcast, the number one Akiya podcast. Today, I'm recording solo as Joey's still in Japan closing up the Tama house, but we have a special guest today. It's been over a year, I think, since we first got in touch with John. Initially, I know he was looking for a vacation home in Japan, maybe looking to Airbnb it. A year later, though, he has done it. John Kissick has gone through our full AkiyaMart Direct process and closed on an awesome property in Kitakaruizawa, one of the most, I'd say, sought after mountain towns in the country. Today, we're going to dig into how he went from that first consultation to owning the home, what worked, what surprised him, and what he learned on the way. John, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks, Tucker. Good to be here, mate.
Yeah. So, just to kind of get started off, tell me a little bit about yourself, your family, and what got you interested in Japan.
Yeah, okay. So I'm John Kissick. I've got 2 kids and a wife. We're living in Perth, Western Australia, where we've been interested in Japan for a while. My partner and I, we traveled there back in like 2019. We went for a bit of a hike around Shikoku, and we sort of
Oh, did
stayed.
you do that Shikoku, like that full hike around?
Yeah, we didn't do the full hike. So I think the full hike
Okay.
was supposed to take about several months, right? So
Mm,
we stopped off at a few temples and just had a good old hike around. No set plans. This is how we used to live when
okay.
we were pre-kids. Was we'd
Pre-kids.
yeah, we'd just turn up to a place and then we'd sort of explore and see what we could do. So we had a week down in
Awesome.
Chicago. We just sort of rolled around the countryside. We absolutely fell in love with it. So we sort of came about these properties in Japan through Jem. She found, I think it's cheap houses in Japan. There's a uh,
The gateway.
yeah,
That's
there's
what
an
we call them.
Instagram page with this, and Jem's kind of going, "Hey, John, I'm seeing some of these houses in Japan. They're sort of going for sort of 20 grand, 30 grand." Because I'm a numbers guy, I've gone,
Mhm.
definitely not. And then I've sort of had a bit of a look and gone, oh, hang on, that's correct. This is amazing. So we just dug into it a bit further, right? And we eventually stumbled across your guys' website where we've got English listings and we can go and explore the whole of Japan and see what it is we like. Because sort of a couple of steps between us going from cheap houses in Japan to you guys was me
Mhm.
getting on Google Translate and trying to find the Japanese websites and then trying to contact Japanese real estate agents and just going, yeah, this doesn't work. It's
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
this. So yeah, we kind of came to you guys and then the process kicked off.
It's been I think we started this off August 2024, I think, maybe like a year and a half ago or so, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. So it must have been
Okay.
around August when we, I think, contacted you guys
Mhm.
with the first property we were looking at. I don't know if you remember that first property we were looking at, but it was
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
the side of a mountain with a shack on
Mhm,
it. I think the
mhm.
going price was like 2 grand Aussie or something like that.
What? In our first consultation, I think you were pretty set on, like, a vacation home. Did you know you wanted to Airbnb it, or what was, like, the vision when you first came into this?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So we were thinking, look, we want a vacation home where we are in Australia, so Western Australia. There's some lovely places that you can go and buy vacation home and vacation. Like River region is really stunning, probably out of our price range for summertime.
Mhm.
So we started looking elsewhere. Japan made a lot of sense. So for us, we were sort of thinking, look, if we can get a house that's not too expensive and then we can Airbnb this thing out, get a bit of positive cash flow coming in that would pay for a trip each year, that's sort of what we're after, right? Going through the process with you guys, there were many, many options. And it was a matter of sort of whittling it down to the one that we really wanted, which we're very happy we found the one that we wanted.
Mhm. As a numbers guy, were you doing this for the numbers? Were you doing this more for the adventure? You know, like I know you're kind of in the quant space, so you're probably like calculating everything. Like what was that going through your mind? Yeah.
As a quant, calculations are always going on in the background. So doing the calculations as we talk. But
Mhm.
it was a bit of both, right?
Mhm.
I feel like I can solve a few problems here. So the one for me, I grew up. My parents used to travel the world and go and see all sorts of places in the world. So I grew up with them and their adventure stories. For us,
Mhm.
we just wanted to sort of give something like that to our kids as well.
Mhm.
Kids are 5 and 5 months. What can we do to make sure they've got something like that growing up? So we wanted to not tick that box, but be able to give them something like that. And we feel like having a place in Japan where we can go once a year or every second year or something like that. They can come back and they're sort of there on the adventure stories with us. We can go and explore wherever, and they're there with us,
Mhm.
living through.
Cool dad, cool mom and dad. I think that's the way to go. Have a vacation home in another country, get a lot of cultural diversity, get some more adventure. I think we'll double click on that later and come back to how your son and daughter, or I guess your daughter, like Japan. But how did you guys pick? So Kitakaruizawa is like north of Karuizawa. Did you guys know this was the spot, or like how again you experienced with Shikoku? How did you guys pick this Nagano area?
Yeah, we had no idea. So
Oh, nice.
we were literally, I think we probably spent about 2 months just trawling
Okay.
areas, doing
Yeah.
maps, what we liked, and trying to work out what it is that we wanted. So in Perth, we live on the beach. So we've got beach here every day if we want it. We
Mhm.
initially started looking at beach regions in Japan because we do love the beach. It's awesome. But then we sort of started thinking, what else do we like? What would we actually like as a vacation home? And other things that we like doing. We like going hiking. We love the snow, as in my family loves the snow. I have not seen snow in Japan before, so I was like, I'm sure I'll love snow. I'm sure it'll be really great. So,
Really? Okay.
so speaking to Jam and even some of my extended family, was sort of talking, look, yeah, if we had this place, what would be a good area? And so we got to sort of somewhere in the mountains would be really fun. Everybody could enjoy something in the mountains.
Mhm.
And then we sort of really dug down into those areas. So Kuruizawa was one area we looked at. Nagano was the other area. We sort of stayed around there again because we've got two young kids. We need
Mhm.
something for the Shinkansen line, so I can't
Yeah.
go much longer than like 2 hours in a train with kids. Otherwise, things are going to happen. So we're sort of an
Y y
hour away in Kuruizawa.
yeah. You guys picked a great like, I actually just brought my family up for Karuiza in the summer, and it was just, like, so much cooler then, and, like, the restaurants are banging there, like, the Italian restaurants, and I was just like, "What the heck? Like, this is world-class food you guys got up there."
Oh, it's amazing. We had such a good time when we were up there. And then since we've
Mhm.
come back, the company I work for, we do a lot of business with Japanese companies as well. So I do end up
Mhm.
speaking to some Japanese people around the way. Whenever I say
Mhm.
Kokomo, they're like, "Oh, that's the best."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
the place there is so good. So I'm sort of like just keeps, reinforcing our decision here. Where like, I think we did okay here. I think this is a good choice.
Totally.
Yeah.
Rumor has it, my dad kept saying, he's like, "Larry Ellison's got a house up there, Elon Musk might have a house up there." He's just like my dad kept saying that. I was like he kept telling me, like, "You should buy a property here." So I think you guys picked really well, John.
Yeah, we're really happy with it, and I've heard similar stuff as well. Like, people keep saying there's like, "Oh,
There's
yeah,
some
pictures in the tech."
crazy rich people up there.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
the houses he's driving through, like, wow, that is beautiful. That is a lovely
So,
house. Yeah, we're a bit
yeah.
away, but we're only
Little
half an hour out of it.
so let's talk a little bit about the search process. I know we looked at a lot of homes, you know, there's some pros and cons, but yeah, talk to me about how you got started. Obviously, you kind of picked the region, you got some advice. You went on AkiyaMart. I know eventually the listing we bought was off, not on AkiyaMart, but like uh, talk to me about how you looked for a property.
Yeah,
or
so
what you look for?
what we did was we used AkiyaMart and then Google Maps, right? And we sort of were thinking about what is going to be around that we can do with the kids over the years. And we
Mhm.
kind of got to the areas that we liked. So there's snow around, there's forest hikes around, there's a couple of kid activities around. And then we sort of would work out exactly what our budget was and would whittle it down to sort of a few in the area. So Kitakaruizawa, we thought was pretty much perfect and within our budget. And there's
Mhm.
about, I think, 3 or 4 properties that we were looking at in the area that was sort of there or thereabouts budget.
Mhm.
So we were using AkiyaMart for that, which was really great. We could do the pros and cons of each property, and then we had Rio on our side as well, who also gave his opinion, which was invaluable because I think there are a couple of times where we definitely were pointing in the wrong direction, and Rio like right the ship the right way.
Gently nudges you back to the right
Yeah.
direction.
And you sort of like, you're very thankful that Rio's kind of like, hey, if you were to think
Yeah.
of this, here's some other things that you could think about in that. And you might have to deal with some added trouble if you were to go down this path, but this other path, you
Mhm.
would have no added trouble. So I think one
Mhm.
of the ones for that was it was a $10,000 property that Gem and I were like, "That's fine, like, this looks pretty good. We don't wanna get too far into this, right?" So we sort of
Yeah.
went, "Okay, $10,000 property, looks like it's a bit of a fixer-upper, but it's fine. We can do that over the years." So that
Mhm.
was property 1, and then the property 2, which we have right now, that's 50K USD, 80K Oz, and,
Mhm.
that is pretty much perfect. Like it's a log cabin in the forest in a villa area. So there's a bunch of houses around us, but it doesn't really seem like there's too many people around. Uh,
Mhm.
and everything's like pretty good. Like we've spent a little bit of money on just a couple of upgrades on it, but pretty good.
Yeah, we give a lot of advice to people who are that initially go for the cheaper ones that like just pay a little bit more money. It's going to get you a lot less headache, and we'll talk about your first impressions of the house later. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think for that 50K range in not Tokyo is a pretty good starting point to find something that won't require too much work.
Yeah, there seems to be a heap of them around at that pricing range as well around us too. So we sort of felt like that's about what you're going to pay to have something where there's not too much work.
Hmm.
But this property, like you were saying before, we didn't find it on AkiyaMart. It wasn't on there. And the process we went to find that was Rio would go to the Japanese real estate website and sort of give me a
Hmm.
rundown of properties. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll try to find the Japanese real estate website where some of these properties are. So the $10,000 property that was on AkiyaMart, we went to the Japanese real estate website and then we were sort of having a
Yep.
look through some of their other listings. And then this other one was there. And we were like, oh, we love this one. This is awesome. So
Hmm.
we just asked Rio to do inspections of the 2 of those ones, and we were picking between the 2, and we ummed and ahed about
Totally.
this. Oh, just like, should we spend 10 grand? Should we spend
Hmm.
50? What should we be doing? Yeah.
For listeners, on AkiyaMart, we actually pull mostly from the larger aggregators. There's probably close to like 10 to 20,000 individual local real estate sites. So, as John kind of mentioned, this is a good strategy. Once you find a property, you can kind of dig a little bit. So, we're kind of the gateway, I'd say, to finding some of these initial properties. And a lot of times, the best deals are going to be more off market or more hidden. So, I suspect the property you guys ended up getting was not crazy advertised, or else we would have automatically picked it up on
Yeah,
AkiyaMart.
I think exactly right,
Uh,
man. It might not have been crazy advertised, otherwise somebody might have picked it up. But then I guess
yeah.
as when we were inquiring about it, there was very much the real estate agent kind of going, "Look, you're gonna have to move really fast. We think there's other buyers." And I think
Yeah, we never know if that's a sales like it's is that like this thing has been on market for so long, it's the middle of nowhere. Like, is there really someone else that's yeah? I'm
that, yeah,
curious how much of that is a fake sales pressure.
it worked on us. Like we were like, "Oh shit, we better do something here." So 100% worked on
Yeah.
us because we were like, "Ah, well, we'll offer unders because it looks like it's a pretty rural area and
Hmm.
we might be able to get a bit of a bargain here." As soon as they said
Totally.
that, hang on, we love this place. We need to
Okay.
offer.
We need to buy it. We
Yeah,
got you emotionally there.
100%.
Um,
Yeah,
John, let's talk a little bit about the transaction process. Again, you came in as one of our first customers. We've leveled up a lot of things since then, but Yo was your main AkiyaMart agent. Talk to us a little bit about that whole transaction, putting the offer in. Like, was it anything that stuck out to you as unusual or difficult, or yeah?
Yeah, I guess going through the whole transaction process. So I guess from start to finish, you guys introduced me to Rio. Rio's
Hmm.
legend. He's sort of like I was saying, he knows the market, and so he can tell me his points of view on things, which is just invaluable for me.
Hmm. Hmm.
Not knowing anything about it. So as we sort of get to the point where now, I've got to make an offer on this house, Rio is sitting there going, okay, look, if you make the offer, we then have another few more steps we've got to go through, and we can do it quite easily. Send money over. I'll make sure they get the money. Yeah, we sign some documents. Before that, there's a few things that I've got to sign. I think I had to get power of attorney
Power
to
attorney. Hmm.
a couple of other things. And that was a couple of week process here in Australia where I've got to get
Oh,
documents.
that's right. I remember that was
Yeah,
strange, right? You had to get it notarized. It was like a special notary you had to go to or something?
yeah, so I had to get notarized, and then there was something else where they had to send it to the government and get it sealed with something else, and I was like, "I don't know, let's do it, sure, if that makes
I
it more." Yeah.
I remember actually. So some agents that are real rural in Japan require like a certificate of signature to make sure your signature is your signature. So it's not
Yeah.
you don't need just a notary that, hey, I live here in Australia, but you need to be like, this is my signature, and you need another level. So not all agents require that, but I remember that actually for your transaction. There's a little extra work.
Yeah, and it wasn't too bad because I went to see the notary and just got, like, 3 things done at the same time, it was no
Mhm.
problem, sent them through via regular mail, and, Rio got them and the process started, so the process starting was very much I was kind of hands off. Rio would just check in every so often, just go, it's going along. I'm speaking to the seller's agent. Everything's fine. Couple of pieces of negotiation as they were going through, which was like, hey, we really wanted the house to be completely empty. So
Mhm.
they cleared everything out except for one thing that we found. They left a nudie
Oh.
magazine in one of the cupboards.
They
So,
they yes. That's funny.
so jackpot.
Okay, there we go.
And
Did
then,
you
yeah,
guys
so
keep
we
it
got
or you threw it away?
Yeah, eventually got thrown away, but,
Oh, no. Should have framed it up as
I
the
should have done.
artifact.
I got young kids, otherwise 100% they
Okay,
would
yeah,
have
yeah.
been hanged up,
I hear you.
but yeah, so we had to sort of ask them to get rid of all of the furniture and everything out of the house, which they did, so that was really good, and then we got them to do a big clean of the house as well afterwards, which again, they were happy to do because I'm pretty sure we paid overs in their eyes, so they were happy to sort of,
Yep.
like, do a little bit of extra for us, but they left us with a whole thing of firewood, which was very handy for when we turned up.
Okay. We'll get to
Everything
that
went
in a sec here. Yeah.
Yeah. So everything went smoothly. We used Wise for the
Mhm.
transaction, and that was piece of cake because I've been
Cool.
paying small transactions to Rio along the way for inspections and bits
Yep.
and pieces of money that he needed. So we just did more, and I think I did it over 2 or 3 transactions, and it was no problem.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that was all good. And then yeah, it just I think one of the pieces along the way was Rio had to call me on a video call with
Mhm.
I can't remember the type of official, and they just
Important matter or Shiho Shoshi. Yeah.
that's the one. Yep. And
Mhm.
they had to check that I was me, and it took all of 30 seconds, and then that was done. And then
Cool.
the next thing that I got, I think, was Rio emailing me like, "House is yours. Well done.
Hell
Congratulations."
yeah.
So we opened
Okay.
up the campaign and big celebration.
Mm, bada bing, bada boom. So it sounds like it was pretty smooth. So again, thank you for going through the process with us. You were actually one of our guinea pigs earlier. We didn't say that, but we were like making sure, like, okay, everything's good. One note to the listeners here that the we tell everyone to use Wise, and it actually doing those smaller transactions leading up to the larger transactions just familiarizes our customers with, hey, this is the UI, this is how it works, and yeah, once you have to do the final transaction, though, it does typically require 2 to 3 lump sums because there's usually a limit based off whatever country you're in.
Yeah, that seems to be what it was. It was a piece of cake though, like because Rio gave me plenty of warning on what date things needed to be in, so it was like
Okay.
we had 2 weeks to spare.
E-
So
Easy peasy. Cool. All right, John. Now let's get to the actual property itself. Yeah, tell me a little about the actual cabin again, and then what were your first impressions when you and Jem stepped in with your 5-year-old kid?
this is so good. So we had never seen the house. Okay, so everything was done online. So we got photos of it, and we were pouring over these photos, just being like, "This is so
Mhm.
good. We have absolutely crushed this. This is so good." So yeah, Rio's done. walkthroughs and stuff like that. We're so excited. And I think we closed the property in, must have been this time last year, so November-ish.
November, yeah.
Yeah. And so we'd already booked in Christmas in Singapore. So we were going to go to Singapore for Christmas. When the property closed, we were like, oh, we should probably go to Japan and get to the house. Let's definitely do that.
Hot and
So,
cold. Here we go.
yeah, exactly. So Christmas in Japan, we'd sorted all that out and we are like, oh, we'll just, we'll get to Tokyo, we'll have a night in Tokyo, then we'll catch the Shinkansen to Karuizawa, hire a car, drive up. Easy. So
Mhm.
stay overnight in Tokyo. This is, I don't know, late December, 20th of December or something like that. Jump on the Shinkansen. Our daughter absolutely loves it. But yep, bingo, this is all
Yeah.
going so well. Get to
Yeah.
Kurosawa, get a car. It's like, this is awesome. There's nothing bad about
Okay.
this whatsoever. And then we start driving through Kurosawa. We're like, oh, this is the best place ever. And then I start
Okay,
driving
okay.
mountains. So I got to drive up a mountain about 25 minutes to get to the house. So I Google going. I'm like, it's here. It's taking us directly there. As I'm driving up the mountain, it starts getting snowier and snowier. It's not snowing, but there's snow around. Now, I have
Yeah.
never seen snow, and I have certainly never driven
First snow, okay.
snow. So as it's going, if we're driving up the hill, I'm going over snow and stuff. I'm starting to white knuckle the steering wheel a little bit, and it's all right. This is new and possibly dangerous. And I have my entire family in the car, so I'm it's here. Jem at this point pretty pregnant too. So I've got a pregnant wife and I've got my
Okay.
5-year-old daughter in the back. And we're sort of driving along. I'm trying to go the speed that everybody else is going at the same time. The old heart rate's driving up a little
Mhm.
bit. Turning off, we're starting to go back through more rural areas. It's absolutely beautiful. We love it. We're like, oh, this is so nice. There's like little cafes around the place, the restaurants around the way. You can see the locals going in and stuff. We're like, yes, this is so good. But at the same time, you in the back of your mind, you're sort of like,
Did I
"Ah,
make a mistake?
yeah, don't stop yourself." So, hope that house is there. We've just done a transaction over the internet. Rio seems really reputable, but let's hope
Yeah.
there's a house
Could
there when we get there.
Yep, yep.
So we get to the villa area where the house is, right? Um, and it is up a very steep hill. Now, the
Mm.
steep hill has got like snow and ice all over it. Google's telling me you've got to go up there. I'm like, oh,
Oh.
you know about this, Google. And there's a sign on the other side of the road in Japanese. I cannot read Japanese. And I'm like, I don't know what that sign says, but I reckon it says punch it.
No. Okay.
So I've sort of gone back a bit. And my whole family's in the car here. And I've got, okay, let's go up this hill. And I've gone up, gotten about halfway, and we start slipping back. And behind
Oh,
it
no.
is a river. And I'm like, oh, shit, this is not going to be able.
Oh, no.
And we're slipping back. I'm just kind of going, I've never driven snow or ice before. So I'm like, I think I should
Yep.
probably put the accelerator on or maybe the brakes. Or anyway, we sort of come to a gentle stop. All is good. And I'm sort of saying to Jem, like, what should we do? Like, we've got to get up there. The house is up there. She's like,
Yep.
I don't know. That could be a run up. Let's try that. So I was like, all right, cool. You're supportive of me being an idiot. Let's do this. So take a bigger run up in our little box Japanese car. And we get past the little bit that we're on. And we finally get up this icy, snowy hill. And we come around the corner and like, there's our house. And it was just this moment,
Wow.
all of us were just like, far out. This is so good. We're in the middle of the
Okay.
forest. There's a little bit of snow around. The house is even
Mhm.
better than the photos. Like you jump out,
Ah, great to
real,
hear.
oh my God, this is so good. And then there's Rio's left like a little key box there. There's a couple of
Mhm.
gear boxes and stuff around the place. Walk into the house, and then problem number one, the house is as cold inside as it is outside.
Welcome to Japan, buddy.
Exactly right. We now know that this is just a regular thing. So we
Yep.
walk into the house. I think it was -8 degrees. Uh,
Oh, no.
I'm from Perth. I've never felt that in my life. I mean, we get like 6 degrees and stuff. And we're like, oh my God, I'm going to die. It's so cold. And so we got to -8 degrees and wearing like a jumper and jeans, not prepared for this whatsoever. Jem, who's pregnant, is like, you better heat this house up. Otherwise, we're going to get there's some heaters around the house. I go and turn these like kerosene heaters on. there's an
Mhm.
odd smell coming out of one of them. Like, I should probably turn that off. I don't want to kill us.
Yep.
Don't know what's going on with that. But I had to use like my translate, the photo translate thing, because it's all in
Yep.
Japanese. Oh god, what settings am I putting this on? And so
Yep.
Photo translate helped me out there. So I've got heaters on in the bedrooms, and then go upstairs and this beautiful fireplace. And I've got to start a fire. So, usually
Okay.
I'm good, but thank God the previous owner had left me some fire starters. So it
Ah,
made it,
let's go.
yeah. So fire's on, it's roaring, everybody's sitting by the fire. At this stage, it's probably been about 15, 20 minutes. Everyone's feet are numb because it's so cold. But now we're
Yeah.
by the fire, everything's good. And we're like, all right,
Awesome.
yeah. And we're here, Christmas in a couple of days, this is the best. So it was
Whew.
just once the fire was on, no issues whatsoever. And then checking the cupboards, found my magazine. So I was like,
There we go. There we go. There we go. Such a good story, John. I think so many of our customers, us included, have that same moment of like, "Oh shit, did we get scammed?" And then you go to the house and it's either like there's usually a first negative, like, "Okay, the house looks good," but you go inside, you're like, "Oh, okay, something's wrong," and then it's that up and down. So I'm really happy you've had that adventure with your family. It sounds like that's a core memory for you guys for some time in the future now.
Oh yeah, we laugh about it all the time. It's the best. And plenty more of these coming, right? That's why we bought the
Yep.
house. Essentially, this is what we want. Like that was a fun experience. There's gonna be more of
Mhm.
those. We had plenty of those on the trip as well. And we are only there for like a week too. So yeah, we can't wait for wherever they're next.
So do you not have insulation in that house, or what's the reasoning it's so cold? I would assume up in that area they would put some more insulation, but yeah.
Yeah.
How old is the house also?
It's a good question. So I think the house was built in the 80s, I'm pretty sure.
Mhm.
Um, so when we got the building inspection done, I think that's probably something I left out. The building inspector kept saying, "This house is amazing.
I
It's
remember I
really,"
remember that.
yeah. And Rio was super stoked about it as well. So he was kept saying like,
We never hear that.
yeah,
I remember that. I was like, I've never heard that from a building inspector. Usually like, "Oh, it's off 1% here," or something like, but yeah, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, exactly right. So the building inspector was stoked, Rio was stoked, and we were just like, "Oh, this is awesome." So they were saying it's really good quality wood, everything's sturdy, really nice, but there's a few little cracks and crevices and whatnot. So there is no insulation; it's completely made of wood, and then under the floor, it's literally just like plywood
Empty.
and
Yep.
then empty. So yeah, we've recently had insulation put in, and we've
Oh,
had some
right
new
on.
in as well. So the insulation, I think, must have been about 6 or 7 grand Aussie
Not
underfloor. It's
bad.
yeah, pretty good, right? But it has to
Mhm.
do a bit of research. Now, I don't know if this is like going to be the best solution ever, but from my research, it seemed like if you got the spray insulation, when it
Mhm.
turns to summer, your house sweats and it can get moldy. So we were like,
Mm.
okay, don't do the spray insulation. Got the fiber insulation, which
Yeah.
apparently still allows it to breathe. We got some underfloor membrane. I can't remember what that was called as well. So it's like we're
Yeah.
trying to make sure that it doesn't sweat in the summer.
Something like vapor barrier or something. We just talked to some guy and yeah, and he's yeah, so you guys did it right. Only $6,000 for your floor. What about the walls and windows? Do you guys get those insulated yet?
We didn't get that insulated yet. So when we were up
Okay.
there, once we had the fire going, everything was warm, and we were like, "This is pretty good." And now
Mhm.
that we've got new heaters in the bedrooms, so the bedrooms are downstairs and the living
Mhm.
room fire's upstairs. So we're thinking with the insulation and the new heaters, downstairs should be fine. And then as long as you've got the fire going upstairs, we're sort of thinking that should be
Mhm.
good enough. We'll soon see, right? So I think
Yeah.
when we got the quote for double glazed windows, which we were looking into, it was sort of around 25 grand for double glazed
Yeah.
windows. You're going,
Yeah.
well, I don't know if that's worth it
Is
then.
that half the price of the property, like
Don't know. So we've left that and we will see. So yeah, I'm unsure
okay.
on that.
How did your daughter like the whole experience? I mean, you bought it for the adventure. Did she have fun or like was it just like a fun trip for her?
It can be hit and miss, right, with kids. Never know.
Yeah.
So like, be great one day, and then the next day, they hate it the most in their life. So she she loved almost everything about it. The train ride there, she loved that. Karuizawa, the actual town. There's so much to see and do. She loved just cruising around the town. We went and did like pottery and stuff. We went to the little pottery
Oh, cool.
place. There's plenty of food around, so we went just walking and exploring. The cafe up the road from us has got like a kids' playground with a flying fox. That was like a favorite place in the world. And
Oh,
then
cool.
there's like an onsen town up the road as well, Kusatsu, which is
Oh,
beautiful.
Kusatsu's. Yeah.
Yeah, great spot. And she loved that as well, just exploring around where there was like steam coming up out of everything. So
Hmm.
she was only positive. And then the only thing that was she wasn't a huge fan of, she, like me, has never seen snow before. So ski slopes, we were like, let's go tobogganing. This will be heaps of fun. So she sort of got to the top of the toboggan hill and then she was like, you know what? I'm out. And
Oh.
you're like, "Come on, it'll be heaps of fun. You can do it." And she was like, "No way." And she had she had a good sized tantrum, and everybody was kind of like, "Oh, shivers!" Like, and so we had to get out of there fairly quickly. We're like, "Yeah, okay, I think we're ruining some people's days now. We should jump out of here."
Oh, no.
Yeah, but since then,
Okay.
been sort of talking her around for the last year, and we're now very
Okay.
confident that when we get back to that toboggan hill, she'll give that a go.
Sh-
So,
When's when are you guys coming back to your, I guess Dio calls it Kitakaruizawa Forest Retreat is what he calls it. When are you
yeah,
guys coming back?
we're coming back late Feb next year. So
Okay.
with my company that I work for, we get parental leave. So I've got 3-ish months of parental leave. We're going to go for the
Awesome.
entire time. We're just going to head
Amazing.
over, yeah, to the property, and we're sort of going to work out a car, and we'll just cruise around, see the area, go and see other parts of Japan, and just yeah, have some family adventures.
Damn, that's going to be so fun. Okay, let's talk about Airbnb now. So, you are again one of our early customers and you have successfully put together this Airbnb. The listing looks killer. The photos look good. Like, talk to us a little bit about how did you get that set up with Dio?
Yeah, so this is like 100% credit goes to Rio. This one,
Yep.
I was sort of Rio early doors was sort of like, okay, there's two licenses that you can get. You can get the Ryokan license, or you can get the Paku license. We're sort of like, let's do Minpaku. 180 days should be more than enough for this thing. I think we've gone with our license. I can't remember if we've actually gone with the Ryokan or the Minpaku license, but
Mhm.
there's a process to get one of these licenses. Now, we didn't need to do anything for this. Rio organized everything to get the actual license to start doing the Airbnb. So there's a number of hoops you got to jump through. I think you got to get the fire department out, you got to get the health department
Yep.
out. You got to make sure that you got to be able to get like people to register for the property whenever they come and stay.
Mhm.
So there's a number of things that need to be done. We did none of that. Like Rio did everything, and it probably took maybe 2-3 months, I want to say. And that's just a matter of waiting on the people that need to get to the property to do their checks. That's the only
Mhm.
thing. It seemed like it wasn't too onerous for Rio, but I can't ever be sure. So we're more
He's
than
got
happy.
it down now.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of reps, and so if you're listening to this and you want to run an Airbnb, Dio's probably your guy that will set you up with. But who did the furnishing? Like the design and stuff looks all pretty awesome. Like someone really spent. Was that you guys or is that
Yeah.
Joe? Okay,
Yes. Good. Yes. That was not me.
okay,
So
okay.
yeah, so Jem and I would jump on IKEA. So we knew that there was an IKEA sort of maybe an hour's drive away or something like that. We're just checking, can you get stuff delivered into the area? So yep, you can. So we jumped on the IKEA website. We were going through stuff. Again, I've got a maths brain. I do not have a design brain. So Jem was very
Mm,
much the design on this part of
designer.
things. Exactly right. If it was me, everything would be beige, and I'd be very happy with that. So Jem did all this. That looks awesome. And honestly, I think we ended up spending about 10 grand Aussie at IKEA and got everything that we needed. So we got beds, mattresses, couch, like outdoor furniture as well. Like set up a whole kitchen. So all kitchen stuff, got a fridge, couch. Yeah, we got everything that we needed. 10 grand Aussie. And again, Rio organized all of this for us. So we kind of went to him with our list of stuff that we wanted, and then he organized it to get delivered to the house on certain days. And Rio organized somebody to be there to make sure the delivery guys could get in and
Mhm.
all the furniture around. So when we turned up, The only stuff that was there were like the kitchen stuff. All the furniture was in the places that it needed to be. The beds were like made up. All the furniture was made up. So it was again really easy because of Rio.
Damn, killing the game. They built the furniture for you?
Right.
They took the they took
100%.
the tr they took the trash out for the cardboard boxes and stuff for you? Oh my
Yep.
goodness, such a
And
good
it was like a
I gotta
hundred
get you
bucks
to do
just
that.
to do that. So we're like, yeah, we'll pay the
Ugh,
$100. You don't have to do stuff. Definitely.
damn, okay. I'm messaging Leo to just make furniture for us. I feel like every time we go to Japan, it's just like cardboard boxes everywhere and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, okay. How's the Airbnb been going? Have you guys had guests yet or any bookings or what's
Yeah,
the
it's going
status
pretty
of it?
well. Like, so it's going pretty well. The only thing we've found is after people stay, they don't leave reviews. Like we've only got 2 reviews in the property, but we've had possibly like 15, 20 groups stay. So
Awesome.
yeah, we're getting about like 10 to 15 days a month, which is for me, I was like, oh, it's doing way better than I thought it was going to do. I thought we were going to have like 2 people here, 2 people there. That'd be about it.
Mhm.
Fine.
Photos make it look killer. Like, I
Yeah.
think the photos alone, like
Oh, Rio absolutely nailed that as well. So, like I was telling you, we did photos when we were up there, and I don't know
Mhm.
how to take photos, trying to getting wrong on fingers in the side of it and stuff like that. But like, Rio got the professional photographer going around and just made it look so much better. So yeah, I think that really adds to the Airbnb listing as well, having those professional photos. But yeah, look, it's going pretty well. We'll block it out for that sort of 3 months that we're
3
over.
months.
Yeah, but we've got
Mhm.
some friends staying there as well. So, a few of our mates know that we've got this house in Japan too. We don't get advertising it to everybody, but some of our good mates know about it. And yeah, they're going to go stay up there in Feb. When we're up there in sort of March, we might have some other friends come stay with us. My brother might fly down from America and come see us when we're there for our March, April, May period. So yeah, it's everybody's
That's
excited.
awesome.
Yeah.
You guys landed it. And for any listeners, we will link the Airbnb listing in the show notes where you can also book John's Kitakaruizawa forest retreat. But John, it sounds like this was you're an awesome case study here. Everything seems to have gone smoothly. I'm very happy you did not slide back down that hill into the river. This would have been a very different conversation if that had happened.
Yeah, it's a bit of
Um,
a sad Christmas, right?
yeah. Any advice here? So again, most of our listeners are looking to start the search. They're maybe in the process. Like any advice you'd give your past self before you starting this adventure or trying to land a vacation home in Karuizawa or Japan?
Yeah, I think for us, we really stressed over that. Should we go with the 10 grand house? Should we go with the 50 grand house? Now that I've gone through the process of having some upgrades to our house, thinking of having to do how much work we would have to do to the 10K house is just like, oh, it wouldn't be enjoyable. I don't think. I think I'll just kind of always be trying to do stuff and solve all the
Hmm.
problems, doing it remotely. So for me, I'm really glad we spent the extra money and we went down the route of hey, this is ready to go. This house, it's all good. You just come and enjoy it when we want to enjoy it. So I think
Hmm.
it's if you're able to just spend a little bit extra so that you're not having to deal with a lot of issues and issues that might arise as you're over the lifetime of the property as well. So we that would be my advice.
10,000%. I think what gets people in is the $10,000
Yeah.
houses, but then realistically, when we help people buy it, that budget goes up to 50, 60, 70, 80K US. And they're usually happy because they realize like, okay, this is going to be a lot less of a headache in the future.
I think you'd probably end up having to spend that money anyway, to be honest with you.
Totally.
You're replacing floors, you're putting in full insulation, you're probably doing your water system, all that sort of stuff. So are you saving that much in the long run?
Totally. Well, John, thank you so much for being on the podcast and sharing your story. That was got to be the best first
Great.
impressions of your Akiya story I've heard to date. So we're really excited. We really appreciate you taking a chance on us and going through the process, especially when we were new. So we will post this up hopefully on our homepage as our main case study. So, John, again, thank you so much for being on the podcast. And we look forward to actually visiting your place hopefully soon.
Yeah, guys, always welcome. And yeah, I got to say thanks as well. Like, without you guys, we absolutely wouldn't have this opportunity to, be able to have the adventures with our kids. So really, we should be thanking you guys. It's awesome. Thanks so
Woo.
much.
Awesome, John. We'll catch you later.
Okay, mate. Thanks for that.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Buying a House in Japan. If you find the show helpful or at least entertaining, give us a 5-star rating. Takes 5 seconds and really goes a long way.
If you or someone you know is looking for a Japanese home, check out akiyamart.com, our English-friendly site that lets you browse over 500,000 listings. That's akiya-mart.com to find your dream home in Japan.
If you've got questions or feedback, drop us a line. Email contact@akiyamart.com. You can also find us on Instagram as well as TikTok, where we post properties, tips on the home buying process, and updates on our own purchases and renovations.
Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next week.